My name is Missy. I live in southern New Jersey, right outside of Philadelphia. I have a day job in the city. I work 9 to 5. I have been a collector my whole life. I have always collected something. I have an elephant collection at my mom's house where there's probably over 1,000 elephants under my bed at home. I've collected records. I've collected, you know, random tourist things. I've collected pennies. I've like squished pennies from tourist destinations. I've collected stamps. I've collected like really way too many things, you know, old jewelry. Like I hoard a lot of things. I really like objects. I really like what they mean, what they represent, what they really remind people of, and I really enjoy the nostalgia factor of old things specifically, but I like things. I've always had a lot of things. I also collect a lot of old clothes, a lot of things from just that era in general, old cameras. I do a lot of current Japanese stuff, specifically Blythe dolls. I do some vinyl collectibles, specifically Pusshead, a lot of bear bricks. I collect a lot of things. I collect collections. I can sometimes get lucky at flea markets. You know, it's really like a great day when you find something that you've been looking for or that really fits into your collection. But I mainly collect dolls primarily, specifically big-eyed 1960s era, you know, sort of like Margaret Keane inspired, freaky-looking, sad dolls. It kind of speaks to you. I think that they're just sad. I think that when you look at a painting like this, it's sad, and I don't know really why people wanted to hang these things in like their children's bedrooms and things like that, and then that really interests me. I think, you know, when you see some of the dolls in my collection, they're really kind of not joyful. They're not really appropriate for, you know, happy children. They're sort of like little beggar, sad creatures that are kind of looking for pity and help. So I don't know, something about that really just interests me. Actually, I think I have owned some of my dolls my whole life because some of them were my mom's. I would say a good portion of them were actually handed down to me. So before I really bought things for myself, I owned them. They spent a good portion of my life in storage and closets and things like that. And when I finally dug them all out and looked at them and sort of found the value in them, you know, I really came to cherish them and buy things that were sort of similar to those ones that I had really always played with. And I have one doll in my collection that I have 10 of, and I'll buy one every time I see it. It's called Glow in the Snow Name, and I've got a perfect one in the box, and I love her. She's great, but I think I really tend to appreciate how different each one of them is. It's the exact same figure, but every little girl that owned it did something different to try and make it her own. And some have haircuts, some got new dresses along the way, some got they tried to kind of make them their own. So I really like that history to a toy. I really like knowing that it's belonged to somebody, it really meant something to somebody, and you know, it didn't just sit new in a box. I think I'd almost rather sometimes find an old sort of beat up toy, believe it or not. I think all the time about, you know, really who was behind this stuff. It's a really interesting trend, I think, specifically with kind of the big-eyed, sad-eyed things. There's not a lot of documentation, there's not a lot of history about who did what or why or when. I mean, some of the bigger known toys like Blythe have a known history, and people, you know, fortunately been able to preserve that, but there are so many just little one-off random things. I think a lot of people really, believe it or not, are really scared of my dolls. I don't understand it. I'll never understand why. I think they're so cute and so sweet, but I get a lot of response from I guess what I would call more like normal people, like people I work with, or just, you know, maintenance people that come to the house or something, and they're really freaked out by them. They're really afraid, which I find also a really interesting reaction and response to. I don't know, you know, what it is that really kind of scares people about. I think it's like Chucky. I think they're afraid that they're going to come to life and kill you. I think I've had lots of people who've said to me, like, aren't you afraid when you go to sleep that they're all going to come to life and attack you in your sleep? Yeah, I think it's actually created a lot of hobbies and actually a lot of friends. I mean, you really do find other people who love these things just like you do, and you know, you can have great conversations with them. You can find people that have things you've been searching for and help them out, and you know, share the little bits of information that are out there with one another. And I think really friendship has been one of the biggest things I've gained from having an interest in some of these things. It's also